Hi y'all, and it's Yolanda back with the Birds and Butterfly journal, which is turning out to be big, but then most of my journals turn out big, so what can I say? So now we are going to come and make the cover, and as I said, it'll be a soft cover, and it's going to be fabric. So I hope you've selected your fabric pieces. So I am going to use this envelope as my cover. It's just and it just fits perfectly with these, like so, almost perfect. Let's put this, I'm going to keep the flap there, and then I've just done like so. So it's a little bit short, but it's okay because we are going to put lace and stuff on it, and it is a little bit long, so I'm going to have to trim it there. So what did I say the height was on this? 8 or 7.5, can't remember now. The height is 8, so we need to cut it down to 8. Don't ask me what size this is, I have no idea. If you're making your journal the same size as mine, it's 12 and almost 3/4 inches. That is inches by almost 9 inches. Right. So what did I say? So now I'm going to cut this down. Just get some stuff out the way here. To 8. Because that is the length. So it really doesn't matter which end you cut off. Should have removed some of the stuff that I've got here, but anyway, so we are going to make it by 8. Okay, let's double check that and hope, like, yes, it does, it fits perfectly. And now all I did, I found my center, okay, because and just mark your center there, and then I just folded it arbitrarily like so. I didn't measure, you don't have to measure, it's just to give you that round effect, okay? So that when you come to, like I say, and then I folded it a little bit there, so you can see. And this whole thing altogether measures about 1 inch. Yeah, it's 1 inch. How's that? Almost exactly 1 inch. But it's not to make it a square book type journal. It's just to give it that roundness. So now I have decided, I've got these snippet mats in green because there's a lot of green and blue, and you know, they all kind of meld into each other. Let's just use this one. Yeah. So I'm going to use this green, and I'm going to use this blue polka dot and kind of blend the two together. I was also, guys, I'm not sure which one. I don't even know if I've got enough, because this would also be nice because it's got some greens in it and yellows, and but I don't know, I'm going for these two. So that's what I'm sticking with. Let's just put this aside. Then I have this lovely doily, and this is a vintage doily. Let's just put these aside. As usual, I got a lot on my desk, and this doily happens to fit perfectly in, well, almost perfectly. It's a little bit long, but I like that. So it'll look like this. So we'll have that edge sort of out, which, like I say, I'm going to stick to that. And then this envelope, the flap, I think I'm going to try and keep that flap. Let's see what I'm going to do. So I'm going to just fold it in half and cut the flaps to match, and just, yeah, so I'm just gonna go like so, and I'm going to round it, which doesn't really matter now. So we have, I could just glue this straight on. I'm just checking which is the right side. Yeah, it's hard to check. Yeah, I think that'll be about right. Hold on, I'm just getting my glasses to have a double check. Oh, go away, phone. I went to the doctor today, so it might be a message from the doc. So look how pretty that is going to be. Now, what we're going to have to be careful, if we're going to keep this as a pocket, we are going to now, I could even just tear it as well, cut it. Okay, so we are going to go in that way. Not cutting it very straight, but don't worry about that. So we've opened it up. So this is the inside and that's the outside. And oh gosh, I've just checked it to see which is the right way. Yeah. This is actually the wrong way, but it's standing out a bit more. So I think I'm going to use it. I like the roughness of it. You probably can't see this. Let me try and make some room here, because now I have to move this up. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to sew it. But first, before I do that, let me just, because I'm not going to make this into a pocket. You could just sew it here and here, and then you've got an extra pocket that way, and once the envelope is closed. So let me do it like that just for the sake of doing it. Now I am going to pin it down, because you will not see the pin marks on the paper, I mean, because you know the paper's all going to be covered, just to hold it in place. So let's make sure I've got a little bit more there. So I'm just going to pin it to do my stitching all the way around, which I think will make it look really nice. You can glue it. You don't have to stitch it if you don't have a machine, or you just don't like sewing. You can also glue it. So I'm going to go away and I'm going to stitch it on, and I'll be back. I don't know if you can see the edge there. See that? So I'll be back once it's stitched, and then I will also I may as well stitch the whole thing and come back with it done. So I'm going to take this fabric as well, and I'm going to tear it. So I will do that once I've stitched this. Okay, so I'm going to stitch this first, then I'm going to come back and I will cut this and then stitch that. Right, so the doily has been sewn on. Let me show you. I sewed it from the inside, so I could see where the line is here, and I used the zigzag stitch on the edge. And so we have this hanging out, which I love. I'm just seeing. I actually think, because this guy's just going to get in the way, I'm taking this off. So let's just cut that. There we go. Let's toss it. So now this piece, I measured, or I cut it the same as the doily, okay? Because you don't want it here, so you want it sort of overhanging it. So it's going to be like that. So when we come to folding it, it'll be the same width or height as your doily, okay guys? And the same, yeah, which will leave you a little bit there. So we'll have that pocket once we've sewn it together, which we'll only do it afterwards. Okay, so I am now I'm going to go and cut another piece of just plain cotton, whatever I have spare. I'm turning away from the camera. I'll do that off camera. So I'm going to cut a piece exactly the same length as this, with the same size, and then I will pin them onto my envelope again. But this time I'm going to pin it like so. I'm not going to open it because then I can see exactly where I want it to go. So I'll put my pins in. You see, I'm not even going to iron it. It doesn't, you know, because if I try and pin it like this, it's just going to be awkward, because then I'm going to have to sort of go like that. You don't want to do that. Pin it. Both pieces. You don't have to put, by the way, the second piece of fabric. You can use just this straight on. But as I said to you, it's just my preference. I just like the feel of it. And this is going to be the cover. So I will see you back with everything stitched. Right, so the doily has been sewn on. Let me show you. I sewed it from the inside, so I could see where the line is here. And I used a zigzag stitch on the edge. And so we have this hanging out, which I love. I'm just seeing. I actually think, because this guy's just going to get in the way, I'm taking this off. So let's just cut that. There we go. Let's toss it. So now this piece, I measured, or I cut it the same as the doily, okay? Because you don't want it here, so you want it sort of overhanging it. So it's going to be like that. So when we come to folding it, it'll be the same width or height as your doily, okay guys? And the same, yeah, which will leave you a little bit there. So we'll have that pocket once we've sewn it together, which we'll only do it afterwards. Okay, so I am now going to go and cut another piece of just plain cotton, whatever I have spare. I'm turning away from the camera. I'll do that off camera. So I'm going to cut a piece exactly the same length as this, with the same size, and then I will pin them onto my envelope again. But this time I'm going to pin it like so. I'm not going to open it because then I can see exactly where I want it to go. So I'll put my pins in. You see, I'm not even going to iron it. It doesn't, you know, because if I try and pin it like this, it's just going to be awkward, because then I'm going to have to sort of go like that. You don't want to do that. Pin it. Both pieces. You don't have to put, by the way, the second piece of fabric. You can use just this straight on. But as I said to you, it's just my preference. I just like the feel of it. And this is going to be the cover. So I will see you back with everything stitched. Before I stitch, let me just show you. I've actually chosen another fabric instead of just a plain one. And I'll tell you why. So I chose this one because it's got a goldy color to it. So that when you see this side, it won't be the wrong side of the top fabric. So I will have this to look at rather than something plain, because there's quite a margin here. Okay, so now I'm going to go and stitch it, and I'll be back. So I've lifted it. Okay, now, and just pull it back just to line it up. I'm lining up my edges here on my fabric. Okay, and there. Now you can take it off. You can take it off, peel it off the whole way if you like, and then stretch it down. I thought I'd better just show you an alternative way, you know, than just straight stitching, because then you'd be like, but how do I do it? So this is another way. Use tape, and then use your hot glue or fabric glue, whatever you have, okay, to stitch it down. So now I don't even have to pin it anymore. Now I'm going to open it up and I'm going to go and I'm going to zigzag all 4 sides and along there, being aware that this has got to sit like that. Okay, so I'm going to go and do the 3 sides, and then I'll come back and I will do on top, so I can see exactly where I'm going there. So it's a little bit finicky, this, but it's worth it. It's worth it. Right, so now I've stitched it. So I should have moved this out the way. So make sure when you stitch this top seam, okay, it is a seam, I suppose, that this part is flat and the seam is away. Okay, so you're going to stitch it slightly down there if you're going to stitch, and all the way around. So now we've got these 2 wonderful pieces together. You know, I could even make this the front, but it's not a cream journal. No, I'm not going to do that. So this is what it's going to look like. It doesn't look like much yet, but it will. Don't worry. Now I am going to go and stitch the 2 pieces together along the edge here. Okay, just along the edge, which is going to be difficult to see. So I'm going to turn it this way. Yeah, I can see it better there. I don't know why this is pulling so much. Oops. But anyway, so I'm going to go back again and just stitch here, not on the sides, because those are going to be pockets. Right, so everything is stitched now. So when you open this, you've got the pocket there, and when you stitch here, or glue, whatever you're doing, stitch right to the end of this here. Okay, don't leave it open like there. So both sides are stitched right to the end of the fabric, but you still got your pocket there. Then also now what I did is I did zigzag, can't really see it, all across the top here. Okay, and that hides the envelope, or you can also use cardstock as well, whatever you're using. Okay, with cardstock it'll be a lot easier because then we're not doing the pocket thing. So you only zigzag right on the edges there, and it doesn't have to be tidy, guys. Mine is not. All right, you can see a lot of it there is going to be lace and stuff on this still, but that's I will only do again at the end, because I don't want to be stitching all of these into here when I've got all sorts of stuff on the front, because there might be dangly stuff or flowers. I don't quite know yet, but at the end of the day you are going to get something looking like this, and then you can more or less center it, so you're going to have an edge there. So once you put, because we're going to use a ribbon closure with this, it'll almost kind of fold over like that, you see, once we have the tie on. But that's for later. And of course we're going to have a lace sticking out here because we haven't done that yet, and probably some lace there too. So now I will be back in another video with you. I'll stitch one with you and then I'll do the rest off camera. Okay, so we are still going to, I might as well, what's my timing on here? I haven't seen. So yeah, once again, just find your middle and mark it. So you're now marking it with pencil, and I've already lost it on this side there. So I know that's my middle there. Now we said this was approximately 1 inch, and that's how, so we're not going to, oh yes, we've got 4 of these. So I am going to start, probably, I'm going to put these 2 in on either side, just leaving a little bit of leeway, not much, and then I'll put in this one, and whichever one I've decided. I think this is the front one. Yeah, this is the one that's going to go in the front. Now I did do the stitching in my other one, so I'm probably not, and I do have another video on stitching, so I think I'm just going to go ahead And all I'm going to do, like I said to you, I will probably, just to show you, where's my big ruler gone? I've tossed it aside somewhere. Here it is. So I've got a center in this ruler, so my center point is there. Okay, and then I'll probably, so let me just see, and this is an inch, right? So I have to work in between these two. No, that's too much. There, 1 inch. So let's put that there. So I will probably put one here. I'm marking it. I don't know what that is. I hope you can see it. And I will put one in there. Yes. And then I will put my little puppy, another one, which is this marking, 1/2 inch. And Jota, my little puppy, will be, what did I say, here and here. And then I will make my hole, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to measure the same thing on the bottom using this guy. I may as well do it. Here, we are there, yes. So I said that's the center. Let's properly line it up. So we're going to do there, and then add 1/2 inch. So it's basically, and then I can line these two up, which I'm just going to use my pencil. Let me use this pencil because that's a click pencil. So now you can just very lightly, because you know once the journals are in, you're not going to see it. So you can go like that. You can also use a piece of paper and make the markings on the paper, but I'm not going to do that. There. And then we have the center there. And then we do like so. And like so. And now I can see the lines aren't very, oh, I missed my marking there. I'll have to redo them. I don't know why I did that. This should actually be here. And I can just, but like I say, you're not going to see it. So you can still go back and rub it out. Yeah, that's better. That's a better straight line. It was just this one really that was out. And I will double check it. And then I'm going to do the 3-stitch. And I'm going to use this embroidery thread. It's quite a thin one. So I will double it up. You know, I'll use a double thread instead of a single. So I will be back to show you that.